son's medical records leaking and everybody seeing and hearing about what's on them does not cancel her, I don't know what else at this point will. Like, somebody needs.
The situation surrounding Christian and her son, Junior, has sparked widespread concern and outrage, particularly after the unauthorized release of his medical records. These documents, reportedly leaked by a hospital worker in violation of HIPAA regulations, have brought to light serious allegations about the boy's health and Christian's parenting. The records indicate that Junior suffers from multiple severe conditions, including fetal alcohol syndrome, neonatal abstinence syndrome indicating drug withdrawal, spasticity, seizure disorder, and cortical visual impairment (CVI), which is linked to brain damage affecting how he processes visual information. These diagnoses paint a troubling picture of a child facing significant developmental and medical challenges, many of which are believed to stem from Christian's substance use during pregnancy. According to the leaked records, Junior has been dealing with these issues since birth, with symptoms including difficulty moving due to muscle stiffness, seizures, and visual processing problems. The records also suggest that he experiences ongoing withdrawal symptoms, a consequence of exposure to various substances in utero. Perhaps most alarming is the indication that Junior requires palliative care to manage his conditions and improve his quality of life, yet Christian has allegedly failed to ensure he receives this critical support. Instead, she has been accused of prioritizing her social life and online presence over her son's medical needs, a claim that has fueled public criticism and calls for intervention by Child Protective Services (CPS). The controversy surrounding Christian's parenting began even before Junior's birth. Videos and photos circulating online reportedly showed her consuming alcohol and smoking while pregnant, raising red flags among observers. These concerns were compounded when Junior was born with a hernia, requiring surgery shortly after birth. However, Christian allegedly missed multiple appointments for this procedure, prioritizing social activities instead. It was only after Blue, Junior's father, publicly shared inappropriate images of the boy's condition that Christian took him for the surgery. Blue's actions, while criticized for violating Junior's privacy, were defended by some who argued that his posts exposed Christian's neglect and forced her to act. Blue himself has been vocal about Christian's parenting, accusing her of being unfit and neglecting Junior's medical needs. He claimed that she repeatedly postponed the hernia surgery to focus on her personal desires, leaving Junior in pain. These accusations gained traction when the leaked medical records confirmed the severity of Junior's conditions, many of which align with the effects of prenatal substance exposure. The records suggest that Christian used not only alcohol, but also other substances, including cocaine, during her pregnancy, contributing to Junior's health issues. Public reaction to these revelations has been intense, with many expressing anger and sadness over Junior's situation. Social media platforms, particularly X, have been flooded with discussions about Christian's behavior, with users pointing to specific incidents as evidence of neglect. One notable example occurred during a Twitch livestream, where Christian left Junior in a hot car while she argued with Blue over the phone. Rather than attending to her crying son, she instructed a Twitch employee to check on him, a decision that led to widespread outrage and reports to CPS for child neglect. The incident resulted in her account being banned from the platform, further highlighting her questionable priorities. Christian's history of engaging in online disputes has only added fuel to the fire. During another live stream, this time on Instagram, she was seen defending a face tattoo of Blue while Junior cried in the background, seemingly in pain. Observers noted that Junior displayed visible signs of fetal alcohol syndrome, such as facial features and behavioral issues, which Christian dismissed. In yet another instance, a video of Junior appearing disoriented went viral, prompting speculation about his vision and neurological health. Christian responded by denying claims that Junior was blind or developmentally delayed, insisting that he was a healthy child whose behaviors were simply those of a typical toddler. These denials have been met with skepticism, especially in light of the leaked medical records confirming his diagnoses. The public's frustration with Christian stems not only from her apparent neglect, but also from her refusal to acknowledge Junior's needs or seek appropriate care. Despite the severity of his conditions, she has been accused of ignoring recommendations from medical professionals and instead spending hours arguing with critics online. Her social media presence, often filled with combative responses to accusations, has done little to quell concerns. Many have pointed out that her focus on defending herself, whether over her parenting, her relationship with Blue, or her lifestyle choices, takes precedence over addressing Junior's health. The leaked medical records have intensified calls for CPS to intervene and remove Junior from Christian's care. While CPS reportedly considered taking action at the time of his birth due to the substances found in his system, Christian's legal team allegedly convinced authorities that she would improve as a mother. However, her subsequent actions suggest otherwise. The Twitch incident, missed medical appointments, and her continued denial of Junior's conditions have led many to believe that she is incapable of providing the specialized care he requires. Critics argue that her wealth and legal resources have allowed her to retain custody despite these issues, a point of contention for those who believe children in similar situations are often removed from their parents for less severe infractions. The ethical implications of the medical records leak have also sparked debate. While the breach of HIPAA by a hospital worker is a clear violation of privacy laws, some argue that the leak was necessary to expose the extent of Junior's suffering and Christian's neglect. HIPAA regulations apply to healthcare providers and those who sign agreements to protect patient information, not to friends, family, or the general public discussing the case. This distinction has allowed the leaked information to circulate widely without legal repercussions for those sharing it online. However, the leak has raised questions about the balance between protecting a child's privacy and ensuring their safety, with many arguing that Junior's well-being should take precedence. Public sentiment on platforms like X reflects a mix of sympathy for Junior and frustration with Christian. One user commented that Junior's conditions were unsurprising given the evidence of Christian's substance use during pregnancy, expressing sorrow for the child's plight. Another noted that Christian's financial resources likely played a role in her retaining custody, pointing out that children are often removed from less privileged parents for milder forms of neglect. The consensus among many is that Junior's situation is a tragedy, with his health challenges exacerbated by a lack of proper care and attention. The broader discussion around Christian's case touches on issues of accountability, privilege, and the responsibilities of parenthood. Critics argue that her behavior reflects a pattern of selfishness, with her focus on social media, partying, and personal disputes overshadowing her son's needs. The fact that Junior requires palliative care, a form of treatment designed to improve quality of life for those with serious conditions, underscores the urgency of the situation. Without this care, his prognosis is uncertain, and many fear that his condition will deteriorate further under Christian's care. There is also a sense of disbelief that those close to Christian, including friends and family, have not intervened more forcefully. While some have spoken out online, there appears to be little direct action to ensure Junior's safety. This lack of intervention has led to accusations that Christian's inner circle is enabling her behavior, either by remaining silent or by failing to prioritize Junior's well-being. The public's outrage is compounded by the perception that Christian is more concerned with her image than her son's health, as evidenced by her defensive social media posts and live streams. The role of Blue in this saga is equally complex. While he has been criticized for sharing inappropriate images of Junior and for his own erratic behavior, some defend his actions as a desperate attempt to draw attention to Christian's neglect. His public statements, including tweets accusing Christian of being an unfit mother, have kept the issue in the spotlight, but they have also contributed to the toxic dynamic between the two parents. Their ongoing conflicts, often played out on social media, have done little to benefit Junior, who remains caught in the middle of their disputes. As the situation continues to unfold, the question of whether CPS should remove Junior from Christian's care remains a point of contention. Those in favor argue that her track record, missed medical appointments, substance use, and incidents like leaving Junior in a hot car demonstrates a clear pattern of neglect that endangers his life. The leaked medical records, while obtained unethically, provide concrete evidence of his complex medical needs, which Christian appears unwilling or unable to address. Opponents of removal, however, may argue that separating Junior from his mother could cause further trauma, particularly given his fragile health. They might also point out that Christian could improve with the right support and intervention, though her current behavior suggests otherwise. Ultimately, the case highlights the challenges of addressing child neglect in the public eye, particularly when complicated by wealth, legal maneuvering, and media scrutiny. For many, the focus remains on Junior, a child who faces significant health challenges through no fault of his own. The leaked records have brought his plight to the forefront, forcing a reckoning with the consequences of Christian's actions. Whether this will lead to meaningful change, such as CPS intervention or Christian seeking help, remains to be seen. For now, the public continues to watch, with many hoping that Junior will receive the care and protection he desperately needs.